or I attend church now.
Oh,
So, well, I won't say now, but I found a good church.
girl, I have been here 6 years. I still haven't found a good church.
Listen, I was like, thank you. They blessed me with a
Oh,
nice church community. And I'm telling you,
wow.
blessed.
Wow, this is not in Seoul though, right?
This is not in Seoul. It's in Sejong.
Maybe I just need to leave Seoul then, because I can never find a good church in Seoul. It's so hard. Okay, so now that you attend church,
Yeah,
you've
so
made-
yeah, I made like church friends. I want to say friends because they're actually my friends now.
yeah,
But because of that community, honestly, being around like-minded people, I feel like it's so important nowadays. I feel the importance of that.
Very,
Oh.
especially when you're dating too.
Yes.
Ooh, girl, you want to be with somebody who's like-minded for sure. How is the
Uh-huh.
church community here?
Honestly, I can't speak for other churches.
Of course.
But the church I attend, every time they see me, they're always just like, oh my god, hi.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't go to an English service. I actually attend a Korean
Korean
service.
service, yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, every time they see me, they're just like, wow, like the fact that you even attend this one, they're like
And
just
you're
amazed.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're trying. And I love the pastor. Yeah, it's a pastor, right? Sometimes because I went from being Catholic to Christian, so sometimes I'm just like,
so
what's the
it's confusing.
terms?
Yeah, it would be faster in Christianity. Yeah.
So like the way he preaches, like because I attend like the youth service.
Oh, okay.
So the way he
yeah.
teaches, it's like he correlates it to our lives too. So
Yeah.
he teaches in a funny way, more
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
humorous way.
Not like in a, I'm gonna fall asleep type.
Yeah,
of
not
way.
in a fall asleep type of
Yeah.
way.
Oh, that's so good. I love church services
Oh.
that make it exciting to
Exactly.
learn about God. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I just want to be hyped up when I'm in church.
Literally.
Yeah, and some churches you go and you're just so tired by the end. You're just like, I feel
You're
like,
just like, yeah.
God is ignoring this church. I don't know about y'all. Like God's not in here. I'm so sorry. He skipped over here today. It's like Jesus, you're so bored. I'm saying this as a Christian, and I'm a very devout Christian, but I do not like boring church services.
I know what you mean. Especially
Yeah,
like Catholic churches where they're just. Actually, I'm gonna stop.
you're not gonna catch me in there.
I'm gonna stop.
I wish I could like find a black church in Korea.
Oh,
Like black churches are just so much fun.
Fun.
They're so fun. Oh my god.
The
It's more singing too.
Yes, the singing
and the dancing and you know the Holy Spirit is
The
in
stomping,
there.
stomp the yard, like everyone's
speaking in
upstairs.
tongues and whatnot.
Yes.
The Holy Spirit is for sure in there, for sure. But some other churches, I just be like, I'm not sure about y'all.
Yeah, no.
Look at me being judgmental.
Not walking in there.
You just gotta stay out. I hope I find a good church someday, but I feel like I'm just scared in Seoul because a lot of them tend to be cults. And I would never want to be sucked into a cult. It's like actually scary.
You see,
Yeah.
I almost had a cult experience. Like I befriended a Shincheonji
Ah!
Ajuma. Me thinking like she was just being nice to me because we took the same. It was my first year in Korea.
Yeah.
We took the same bus for a whole year.
Yeah. Oh wow.
A whole year,
Yeah.
and she knew the kindergarten teacher at my elementary school.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, oh, this lady is so nice. Like she always talks to me and stuff like that. And then one day we started to get closer.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? She brought me to like a cafe, and then she brought like another young friend. I think she was my age. And then they started talking about church, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah.
And then she mentioned a church,
Uh-huh.
and I just feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Where have I heard this
Heard
church
that
before?
somewhere.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, do you want to listen in? Like there's actually a service happening right now. So they literally just prompted their phone on the table and give me earphones. And I only just sitting there for like an hour just listening to the service. But I'm just like, this does not feel right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Does not feel right. And afterwards I tried to distance myself.
Yeah.
But there was a time where it was winter.
Yeah.
And I told her like I needed a jacket. Like I was thinking of just getting myself a jacket. And she's like, okay, yeah, let's just go after school and like look for a jacket.
Yeah.
She bought me the jacket.
Oh my god.
80,000 won.
And she was just like, here, have it.
Yeah, I was like, you know, at first
No,
like
yeah.
the like no, it's like hey, like I can get my own. But
Yeah.
she literally just bought me the jacket. And then after that, I didn't talk to her. So I still have the jacket.
Thanks for the
Thank
jacket.
you. But honestly, I was just like, no. Like I think I told my Korean friend, she's like, distance yourself.
Yeah.
from her.
Because they're known to
Uh-huh.
be like a very like
Yes.
Just watch the Netflix series, guys, if you don't know what church we're talking
yes.
about. But yeah, that has, even the Netflix documentary about cults in Korea has turned me off so much to churches.
All that JMS.
Because because they have normal looking churches. Like they don't say they're JMS until
Yes.
you're like really in it. Right?
Yes.
So they'll have a normal little church. You're like, oh, it's only 10 people. What can happen in this 10 people church? And then you realize they're actually connected to the bigger church, which
Yeah.
is JMS or Shinjongjin.
Yeah.
I don't know that church. So like it's made me so scared because I'm like, you just never know. And these cults are huge in Korea.
Which is honestly why when the church I'm at right now,
Yeah.
I was skeptical. I'm losing my English. So.
skeptical. It's okay. My English is trash too. Anybody who watches my podcast knows me and English.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was skeptical about it because I heard it from one of my Korean friends.
Yeah.
And like she knows that I'm Christian too, so she'll just mention like, oh, like come to my church, come to my church.
Yeah.
And after the Shincheonji experience, I'm just kind of like, oh, this girl's trying to get me into a cult, like
Yeah.
again.
Can you imagine?
Yes, but
Jesus.
then what's it called? They had this event
Yeah.
where you can bring like family and friends, and so I went to the event. It's called like family worship. So I went to the event, and it was just kind of like, let me just feel it out. And you know, it was a normal church, and I loved it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's definitely, it does not give cult vibes
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
There's no like
Okay.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
So it's I like.
They're
it.
not
I
telling
love
you
it.
to like clean the pastor's
Yeah,
feet.
no.
It's freaking weird. That documentary, I was just like,
I said, First of all, I was questioning the people that attended. I'm like, how do you attend that church and not know that something's off?
I think it's like they really prey on the mentally weak.
Oh.
Because when you're going through something rough, you just want somebody to lead you in the right direction. And then comes this person buying you an 80,000 won jacket. You'll be like, hey, you a good person, innit? So you follow them to church. And then they start talking about take your clothes off. And now you're like, excuse me? By the way, this is not funny.
It's not. It's really
It's
not.
not funny, but you just gotta laugh
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
find it-
Sometimes you gotta laugh because that documentary was disgusting.
Disgusting.
It's freaking disgusting. But since watching that, I've been like very turned off. I've also had friends who were in Korea who had joined this church, and like they were really friendly at first, like super friendly. They'll be like, "Oh my God, we'll buy you this," because they were students at the time, and they didn't have a lot of money. So the pastor was like, "Oh, we'll help you with getting clothes, getting food, like like charity."
Oh, that
basically.
sounds nice.
Yeah. And then 2 years down the line, now they're being made to wash the church. Gotta clean this, gotta clean that. And now they were living in a place, but the pastor made them move into his church. But the room, no AC, no heating. Like they'll have like really crusty looking blankets. So these experiences have made me so turned off to church because it's like they act so fake. They're like so nice. And then the more you get sucked in, the more they're just like, now you believe us. And
Yeah.
then they just treat you like trash. Like I heard that experience and I was like,
Really?
wow.
Really?
Like I hope those people who experience this someday come on the podcast and tell it with their own mouths. But that story had my jaw on the floor.
I'm
I was
actually
like-
shocked.
Yeah, I was like, how do you just put somebody in a little room and make them
Exactly.
like it's a slave, basically? That's what it is. And they were black to make it worse.
And to prevent you from escaping, right? From leaving.
Because they're
and
giving them
telling
free
it.
food. They're like, oh, we'll treat you well. We'll pray for you, blase, blase. But their room looks like a little closet.
Oh.
And it's 2 people living there with no heating or cooling. So I was like, wow. Anyways, apart from that, have you experienced any other significant difficulties?